Frenchie smiled. What's the occasion, Steph? The blonde shrugged casually. It's no big occasion. Paulette pushed her.
Oh dear.
Don't you think that's kind of weird? Not weird, but like exciting weird.
Totally exciting.
Yeah.
I feel like we all learned something from that.
Yes.
Hello and welcome to the Spiral Dimension.
When push comes to shove.
Welcome to the Parliament of Mowls. I do declare this episode of Parliament open.
You all right?
Rumpf.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for coming.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I
Bye.
hope you're all well. A little bit of a disclaimer. I've just come down with a cold in the last 2 hours. So I
Oh,
might be a
have
bit
you
stiff.
been making out with Pete?
Well, it was
No,
it was
Not any more than usual. Got it.
yeah. No, I really haven't. I haven't seen him. But yeah, he's
no
also
more than
dying.
usual, right?
Let's check out the chat. We have
The bird flu
Volga?
confirmed.
It's fuzzy.
Love it, Fuzzy. Always on
Yeah,
the
you
ball.
could be the whole patient zero where the crossover occurs,
Could be.
right? Where
Yeah, it could be me. All on me.
that's the problem with. Thank God that you're not a cow man. Then we'd get like all those cow diseases come over.
I mean, that would be an odd character. He says dressed like this.
Yes,
Hmm.
but you know what? Cowman never steers you wrong.
Ah,
Oh,
Oh,
these are the jokes. He'll be using that one.
I did some rotten
That-
jokes.
that's going to
today.
be his next one of his future mail calls. It'll be Badger. Why don't cows drive, or why do cows make good drivers? Because they never steer you wrong.
Well, boy, nice to see you, buddy. Okay, shall we get started then? Because we have pressing entertainment to talk about. So, shall we start with Vogs? What watch you with your eyeballs this week?
I've been busy working a lot, so I haven't really watched a lot. I've watched a lot of YouTube. I watched Only Slabs this afternoon with down there's the host. Yeah, yeah, I know Rob. Where is he? Who is this host? I've been watching YouTube and I've been watching a little college football today. Nothing really, but there is a show I'm gonna watch in the future because my friend bought me a Batman figure. It's from the show, the little movie from DC called Hush. I'm planning to watch that in the next few days. Can't wait to watch it. I may do a video review on like what I thought of it, but I'm excited. We'll see.
I have a question. Have you read the comic?
Have I read the comic? No, I really want to find it.
Oh, you'll probably like the cartoon.
You'll
quite
be
a lot.
okay then.
I need to see.
Yeah.
I wonder how many issues.
You haven't seen the source material? Then great, you might enjoy this.
but maybe think so.
I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't.
How
But-
many
Oh, wait.
issues is it?
Wait a second. You
No,
didn't
no,
give a
I'm going to be
disclaimer.
careful. I'm going to be
Famous
careful. It is different to the source material. Okay, so
Like the
You haven't read
septum,
it.
it is deviated.
very good.
But yep, that's what I watched. Very little.
Nice. Very little today. Okie dokie. Terry, what watch you this week with your eyeballs?
Well, so I've took a leaf out of Tony's book with rewatching Hercules and Xena and things like that. Unfortunately, I got my first series out, the season 1, and I bought this about 15 years ago. The whole 7, 8 series I bought, say, must be 10, 15 years ago, and I never watched them. seen them on telly, but I never watched them on the videos. And the first disc I take out jumps all over the bloody place. So I took out the second disc and it did the same thing. Now, because I bought them such a long time ago, it's difficult to get replaced. So I gave them a nice clean, and eventually they started playing reasonably properly. So I got to watch the first one, and it just jumped every now and again, thankfully. But I didn't even realise, actually, in the very first episode of Hercules, Lucy Lawless is actually in it. But she's not playing Xena. She plays another character. And so no, I didn't realise. I mean, I thought I'd seen the episode, say, such a long time ago, but I didn't remember her being in it. But anyway, watched that one, and then I watched the second one. That I managed to clean that up so that it didn't jump so much. I was halfway through that, and then it's totally buggered up. So I'm going to try and see if I can get them straight watching on some sort of stream of some kind. I've not looked at the rest of them yet to see if they're working. Hopefully, the rest of them do. But I watched that.
You could try and view it on your computer and look for the actual file and see if you can take the file, because that might be all right. It's just an idea.
Yeah, that's right. And then I changed over and I watched the first season of The Twilight Zone.
Nice.
Re-watched it. There's most of the episodes are great. Sort of thing. One of my favourite ones, I don't remember the Burgess Meredith one, with glasses.
Yeah, that's my favourite as well.
Yeah, so no spoilers if people haven't seen it. But watch those. There hasn't been much else really to watch on TV. And the only other thing I bought this a little while ago. I thought this was a reasonably new book, but I find out it isn't as new as I thought it was. But it's a Kurt Swan, A Life in Comics. And I've just been going through this, reading these. So it's got some, the old.
Oh, nice.
The cool Superman artist. But it's a lovely book. It's got loads and loads of people in it talking about Kurt Swan. So I was reading that as far as what I've seen with my eyeballs.
Okay, tremendous. Rob,
that is about it.
What watch you with your eyeballs this week?
Well, I just want to say, I see Fuzzy mentioning toothpaste is good for fixing jumping discs. Also, kneecapping them. Just take out their kneecaps. They don't jump very well when there's no kneecaps left. They kind of sit there.
I'll try that.
Also works great for headaches. So you got a really bad headache, just kick you in the kneecap. You'll forget all about your headache.
Yeah.
It won't do much for hiccups, but yeah. So what did I watch this week with my eyeballs, or what watched me this week with my eyeballs? I watched started off the week strong at the movie theater, went to go see Beetlejuice, which I enjoyed. It's not as good as the first, I don't think, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. I think that, without spoiling anything, because I'm not going to talk about the movie here, other than that, I think that they got the demographic wrong for the trailer. For the previews. The previews were all like kids' movies, and well, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a fine. There's nothing in there necessarily you can't take kids to. I just don't think that it's the movie that kids are going to want to go see. It's the Gen X parents and the Gen X that grew up watching Beetlejuice and remember it fondly from their youth that are going to go see Beetlejuice. And so I think that the movie, showing me a bunch of previews to kids' movies, I don't care. But then aside from that, busy week, I managed to squeeze in Raw, some wrestling, and the Wednesday night AEW show. And then I watched the first 5 episodes of the 3rd or 2.5 season or 3rd, however they're trying to call it, that 90s show. Again, it's not that 70s show. That 70s show is way better, but it's definitely not that 80s show, which was a pile of dog doo-doo. It's just somewhere, it's there for some reason. I like it, so I keep on chugging through it. They dropped the second half of it's funny, it's supposed to be the second half of the second season, but they're calling it part 3 now. It's the way that Netflix is calling it. It's not really called a season, it's just part 3. So it's their third set of drops of some of things. Like it's like 8 or 10 episodes. So yeah, that's
Sounds
that's
like a
about all I've
pretty
had time for.
fun show.
I tried to watch SmackDown last night, and I got through the first match before I fell asleep. So I have to go back and watch it again.
I believe
Wrestling
that,
for
yes.
wrestling for me, it has nothing necessarily commentary on the quality of the show necessarily. It just happens to be that I tend to watch it late at night, and I'm tired, and then there's not a lot of thinking that's required with wrestling. So my brain goes into alpha wave mode, and then the next thing I know, I'm watching the inside of my eyelids.
Yeah. Well, also you get up super early on Fridays, don't you? For league?
Yes, I'm up before 4 a.m. my time, and so by the time when I sit down at 11 p.m. at night to watch wrestling, if and I didn't get a chance to take a nap yesterday between those times, so yeah, it was. I knew going into it what was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it was bound to happen. Quick question about Beetlejuice. With again, no spoilers. Is it mainly practical effects, or is there a lot of CG? What is it noticeably practical? Is what I'm getting at, because I love that.
I think there's a
about the
mix.
original.
There's a mix, right? I think there's definitely. I think there's some CG stuff, but there's a lot of practical effects as well too. And probably the most CG of the work wasn't upgraded from the CG work of the time. So it might not even be CG. I might be completely wrong. It might be stop motion with the sandworms.
That would be great. I'd love stop motion with the sandworms. Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah,
awesome.
I want to think, if I'm thinking back to it, it's probably CG version of stop motion, but it's it doesn't. It's not like modern day CG. So yeah, it's very much the same kind of feel to the original.
When Peter did his review, because they did a spoiler review, they did speak about most of it being the not stop motion, but not CGI, but practical effects.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
good.
you could definitely tell some of the stuff, like when they had a bunch of shrunken head guys running around, and that was definitely people in, all their jackets are cut such a way so that way they can have the clear cloth that the actor can see through with a shrunken head up on top of his head running around type of thing. So yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so what I have watched with my eyeballs this week, a lot of UFC earlier in the week, but then I did a bit of marathon Thursday night of different movies. What's it called? Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Oh yes, very good movie.
That's on Amazon. Really like that. Really,
I loved it.
Fun.
I saw that in the theater. Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's well worth a watch if anybody hasn't seen it. Superman is great in it, as he always is. I love that guy.
Actually, now that it's on Amazon, I'm going to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, I can definitely see me buying it. Honestly, I enjoyed it that much. Stuff that I don't think I'll be buying, but you never know. I saw the second Aquaman finally. Got around to that. It was. I enjoyed it more than I was expecting.
I think that's the same story everyone said about the first one too.
That I didn't enjoy as much as I thought I was going to.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought I wouldn't enjoy it at all, and I got some semblance of enjoyment out of it, so I was modestly surprised. But I haven't got around to the second one either.
I think with the first one, I thought it was just way too long. Like they could have cut it in half almost, but never mind. The second one feels like a kids movie from the 90s, which it's sort of a rubbish superhero movie, but sort of fun nonetheless. It's got very sort of campy aesthetic to it, which I really enjoyed. Some terrible jokes, mind you. All the comedy is trash, but luckily it's not quite as much as with that Thor movie that I can't stand. Then after that, and I'm glad I'm on my own channel so that nobody can boot me out for this, because it's a controversial opinion. I actually enjoyed Madam Web a little bit. I did not
Blink.
hate that movie.
Hold on. Blink if you're being held hostage and your family is being held and are in danger.
Or
Right,
Badger's in the
his-
background holding a prompt card saying, say this, say this.
Say this would go. No, honestly, like knowing that it was a terrible superhero movie going into it helped, because it is indeed an absolutely astonishingly bad. Well, it's a bad movie, let's be honest. But like as a superhero movie, it's the bottom tier. But as a sort of goofy, semi sci-fi-ish movie, it's not that bad. It's not good. Like, this is not a good film. But if you ask me to watch which I would pick out of that, the Thor movie that I just mentioned and Madam Web, I had to watch one of the two again, it probably would be Madam Web over the other one. The scenes where they're in...
And if we take away her breasts, then... Now
it's not just that. It was. I like movies that. I like serious movies, and they did take it serious. They just didn't do it very well. Like the writing is bad, the script is bad, the acting is
almost impossible
sometimes.
to follow.
Yeah, it's not good, but I enjoyed it. Is what I'm saying. Way more than I was expecting.
As a man who has on many times declared his love for yoga hosers, I can respect that answer because it is not a good movie.
Yeah,
but I enjoy the hell out of it.
Exactly. That's the thought process. That is, yes, Fuzzy, you are absolutely right. Oh,
I hadn't seen Aquaman I wouldn't even know who Madam Web was, so I can't be bothered with that anyway. I mean, as far as being sort of mainly, being a DC collector, I really should see the Aquaman, but I've forgotten all about it. So, and I mean, the first one was all right again, but I wasn't. I haven't really enjoyed many the recent sort of like DC or Marvel films, really, to that extent. Didn't mind Blue Beetle. I watched the DVD, a couple of weeks ago. I didn't dislike that.
I like that one quite a bit. Yeah.
It's not a movie I would want to watch again.
You weren't the demographic. You weren't the target demographic for that.
Oh no,
movie.
exactly. Oh no, that's right.
And that's fine.
No,
and that's the same thing I used to say about like the Kamala Khan, the Marvel Marvel movie show. It's like I enjoyed it. I recognize I'm not the target demographic for it, but that doesn't mean that I can't appreciate it.
Yeah, that's right. But what I would like to say with lots of these films is if they just make one-offs, one-off rather than trying to attach them to universes. I think they were a much more interesting film.
It reminded me a lot of like sort of The Craft, like that kind of 90s movie. So where it's all a little bit wooden and the women are sort of angry at each other for no reason whatsoever from the start. And it just super half-baked. I have no idea what they could have possibly been thinking when they said, you know what, let's make this a movie. Like it doesn't compute at all. Like the fact that it got a green light is just bananas.
Yeah. No, it was definitely.
He did.
It was definitely something.
I do agree with this statement. Like that was disappointing. That was sort of half the reason.
Yeah, that is disappointing.
To be honest. And but I liked it more than I thought I was going to because everybody panned it. Like I'd rather watch that than Morbius again, for instance. I don't know. I'd say the action is far better in Morbius, but it still bored the pants off me.
See, there you go, bringing up another fair comment. Sometimes when people pan a movie enough, you go in with such low expectations that as long as you didn't vomit on yourself while watching the movie, it becomes, hey, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. That's my thought process. This is true. This is true, Izzy.
Yes.
And let's bring this up again. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I hate it when it does
that
this.
Works.
Yeah, it'll do. What read you this week? Let's move that off the screen. And we'll ask that to Fogger. What read you this week?
I read a few things, but I'm going to focus on just one main particular. I may get this run. I'm not sure. I enjoyed the first issue. It's Wolverine 1. Yes, they've done it over and over and over and over again. But it's a good story. Him and Nightcrawler, and they're fighting Cyber. And I got the Adamantium cover.
I like that cover. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I read that, and then I enjoyed the story thoroughly. I also got I need to finish this run. I need 11 more or 10 more issues. I just randomly find them. I'll probably have to go to a LCS and just dig just to look at those books. The Batman Catwoman series by Tom King, Clay Mann. And I read the final issue because I have issue 1 and then I found issue 12. It's kind of weird that I'm jumping. But yeah, no, it's a cool story. Like at the end, they get married. But yeah, I may have to get the rest of it. But yeah, I would say this was the best read I read this week. I got this, that Batman Catwoman, and then I got a blank of the X-Men, blank cover of X-Men 97. Hopefully I can get a sketch done next Heroes Con.
Tremendous, tremendous. Terry, what read you this week?
Well, I've read a fair few books, but there's just a few here to show. I finished. I don't know whether you finished. Ain't No Grave, number 5. Have you read it yet?
I heard that ended good.
Have you read it yet? No.
I haven't read it, but I've heard only good things about it.
It does. It ends very well. I mean, it's a nice.
Is that only 4 issues?
5. This is issue 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is 5. So it ended very well. This has nearly come to an end, but not lots of people read these. But as I say, the Army of Darkness Forever, it's gone on for a bit longer than it normally does. They usually have like 5 or 6 issues, but this one goes on. Well, it's supposed to be 12, but I just read in the previews that it's actually a number 13 is coming out. So obviously it ends then. This is probably about the first of the Absolute Power Task Force 7s that I haven't enjoyed. It's clinked up with the Wonder Woman thing, and it just wasn't me at all, sort of thing. It just, I don't know what was going on, to be perfectly honest.
I got the first comic, and I just was so busy with other things, I couldn't get the other ones because I didn't have a card. I just dropped it. I was like, I don't have.
I've enjoyed it up until this point, but I think it's not so much the Amazo or Amaz, what you want to call him. It's the Amazons here that were. I just don't like them. There isn't a single character in that I like, so I don't bother with those. This was excellent. Geiger 6.
Nice.
Absolutely excellent. That is. I thought it was going to be another one of the Ain't No Grave number 4 had only a couple of words in it. And I thought they were following the same track with this to begin with, or sort of like several pages. There was barely any words because it's mainly about the animals, about his two-headed wolf there. It's mainly about him, Barney, I think is the animal's name, and a bunch of other animals as such. But it was really, really, really good. And again, another one that not everybody's into, but the Star Trek, they're calling it number 500. It's the 500th issue that IDW have done of all theirs. These stories are all right, but there is one story that I really, really do like. And I don't know if you remember the Star Trek episode, the Tribbles episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then they had, in Deep Space Nine, they had another one, didn't they, where they went back in time to the original ship. Well, there's a story in here which actually tells the story from the Tribbles' point of view.
Oh.
And it's really, really good. It's the first story in the book, as I say, but it's really, really good. But it's like literally from the Tribbles' point of view.
You know what?
Tribbles?
I'm actually tempted to buy it. Like, it's like the only Star Trek episode that I remember off the top of my head. Like, yeah, that's tremendous.
Do they explain from the Tribbles' point of view why the Klingons are so afraid of them?
No, don't go that far. Well, I mean, no, I won't ruin the story. As I say, ruin the story to tell you how it climaxes, sort of thing. But it's very, very, it's very cleverly done. It's very funny as well. The rest of the stories are okay, but that one I really, really like.
Yeah, I would expect it to be nothing more than humorous.
Yeah. But yeah, as I said, I've been reading that Kurt Swan book, or looking at the art more so than reading it. But that's been interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Like looking at pictures is fun.
I have, read a fair few. I'm still trying to get through the Wonder Woman. This one.
Nice.
That's the Secret History of Wonder Woman. So
nice.
That's I always take the dust jacket off because otherwise you end up ruining it with the book. But I'm about halfway through that. But that's really interesting from a history point of view. But yeah, that's about. I've read loads of others, but certainly boring to keep showing everybody. And what I have done. I'm just in the middle of doing my script for the All-Star Westerns. The first 9 issues before this is number 1 and number 2. So I'm just in the middle of doing the script for them. The first 9 issues of All-Star Western Volume 2 before Jonah Hex, because Jonah Hex first appearance was in number 10. But I'd already shown 10 and 11 in a previous video. I've got a video coming out tomorrow at 4 o'clock GMT time. That's another one of my Batman.
4 o'clock GMT or BST?
BST. And I've that's about my second box opening, if you like, of the Batman books. They're not all Batman books though. What I'm trying to get Batman back to number 200. I've got about 15 left to get.
Nice.
Which shows about 5 or 6 more that I've got. I've got a few more coming, most of them from the States. I had a weird one to show you this. I thought it was really good. One of the Batman issues I ordered, it came from Canada. And I sent it 6 days ago. I got it yesterday, but it was 6 days ago.
Wow.
Do you think he used enough stamps?
Yeah, I think he used a little. Yeah.
But the thing is, this wasn't even this. This has come untracked, and I got it in 6 days, and that includes a Saturday and Sunday. I thought, but when I've looked on his website, that's what he sells, mainly stamps.
Oh, that's funny.
Because the comic that actually came with this was in. Well, it didn't look like it had ever been read. It was one of the Brave and the Bold that I wanted. And it didn't look like it had ever been read. It looked like it had just come off the printing line. It's in fantastic condition, and it cost barely nothing. I mean, it cost more postage than it did, but even that wasn't that expensive. I thought it was great though with all the Canadian stamps.
That's pretty cool. I would keep the packaging. Yeah.
I wish they would have packed it more securely, though. Such a flimsy.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it had some cardboard shoved in it. I mean, you're right, Rob. I was, when I saw it, what it come in, I thought that's going to be, it's going to be damaged there, but it wasn't. But it was like a pristine, sort of brand new book that just come off the printing press. Amazing.
Miracles happen.
Yeah, that's a bit of luck. That is.
Yeah.
Right, Rob. What read you this week?
I must unfortunately yield my time back to somebody else, as I read nothing this week. I apologize.
That's perfectly acceptable. I was just going to ask the follow-up question. Are you still on top of your weekly pulls? Because you were for a little bit, weren't you?
I know I was, and this week I fell behind, so I got to find some time to get caught up.
Right, fair enough. Well, I have read just 2 books. I read that Geiger that Terry showed. That is phenomenal. And I sort of thought because it was going to be mainly a Barney story, it might not be that interesting. It was great. I had an absolute blast with it. My only thing is that not the first appearance of Zigzag? If they're calling it, no spoilers, but Zigzag, it should.
I don't remember.
They do those usually. The back page where it says like first appearance, blah blah blah. Never mind.
I don't remember. I don't believe.
I didn't see it.
I don't remember seeing the character before.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that book. And also Transformers came out this week and it was banging. Love it. There was one page that I found really difficult to sort of follow. The art style it was an action scene and it sort of took me a while to work out what the heck was going on. But that's my only criticism. Otherwise, I love that book. I thought it was a great issue of Transformers. Really, really strong stuff.
Who, you know what I thought? You know how Geiger does the animal masks? Someone needs to do an artist rendition of you as like the owl.
I would love that. Yeah, if I could be in Rook, I would. Yeah, if there is an owl,
it's you.
warden,
it's got to be you. If it's someone else,
it should be me. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you.
You see what Fuzzy's saying about the Holy Roller?
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
I read that last week, but I didn't realise it had been delayed that long. Because my comic place hasn't got that. It's got a date for it to arrive.
They delayed the final issue 10 weeks.
That's 10 weeks is insane. That's
ludicrous.
That's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah, they've done that with a few books recently. All this waiting for the last issue to come out.
It's a real shame when they do that. It really takes the momentum out of a book, especially on your final issue.
Like you're gonna forget what happened in the last issue when then 10 weeks.
I mean, it's just I guess it's a good excuse to read them again, but not everybody has the time to do that. Like, it should be more prompt. That's crazy.
It's like that Batman book. Fuzzy knows the one I'm talking about. It's been, number 1 and 2 took forever to come out, or 2 took forever, and now 3 and 4. And number 3 still not come out, and there's no real date for that. So that's like 6-7 months ago, I think now.
Okay, on to Mal question time. Now, last week we had a few questions, and we only did one. So I'm going to pick the other question that I thought was particularly interesting. I'll try to remember the exact wording. Grey Man is in the chat. It was which book you would have on a desert island, was it not? Or am I?
It was.
Yeah. If you could take one book on a desert island, what would you read with your eyeballs?
I already have mine, but you guys.
Let's go with Vogger. Yeah.
I'm a Batman fan. I gotta go Detective 27.
Okay. Wow. I mean,
Detective 27.
Let's go with story rather than issue, because there's less to talk about.
What do you mean story? I'm confused.
Well, I mean, it could just be Detective 27 if that's the one, but if there was a story arc, like a train
that you want to read.
Like
that Hush story arc or something like that.
Like a 3-issue series or something.
Yeah.
I apologize, Grey Man.
Story arc.
It was easy. Yeah, a story arc we'll go with.
It could be over a course of 3, 5, whatever.
I know this sounds stupid because it just came out, but I really enjoyed the Wolverine Deadpool story arc that just came out. That was the 3-issue one. I enjoyed that thoroughly. So I know it may sound dumb, but I'm gonna go with the most recent Wolverine Deadpool World War III.
I mean, I admire that you're sticking with a book that you like, but you're on a desert island for a very long time, and you've got 3 issues of a. But you do
you know what the problem is? I'm like 2 years into comics, so.
Nah, that's fine, mate. I'm pulling your leg.
You're good.
Terry, what would you read on your desert island?
Well, I said it, I think, on Peter's show. I would like the compilation of the books, though, and that is the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but the whole thing. There was 8 or 9. I think it was 9 books to it. If I could have that, then that's what I would like.
Good choice. I enjoyed that.
I'm trying to. What's it? Narnia? That's it. Yeah, the Tales of Narnia. I know it's a middle-aged kid thing, but I mean that was the very first book I ever read. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, read from beginning to end, and I don't remember reading all of them. I think I did, but I don't remember. But I always remember that one. That was the one book, that I say. I think I was about 6 or 7, and it was I read that.
There were quite a bit. Yeah,
always enjoyed it. So if I could have the full set, then that's what I would do.
So your answer to which book is a series of books.
Yeah.
Compiled into one.
But if I had to read it, say it's a book, I suppose you just, I don't know, take an omnibus of. Well, actually,
No,
yeah,
it's fine. Still, no, your answer is fine. You don't need to change
Your
it
answer is
because
better than my
your
answer.
answer now
Remember
gives
that.
me wiggle room
Yeah.
on the answer
Okay.
by virtue. So I just wanted to confirm, so that way now I didn't sound like I was breaking the rules.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. Yeah, why not? It can be a compendium of all the books. Why not?
It's better than my answer. Good job.
Rob?
Well, if I'm going to cheat,
Yeah.
then I'd say, well, I'd like, some kind of unabridged compendium of all the Jack Higgins books, especially all his the stuff like the Eagles Landings, of all the World War II espionage stuff. I loved all those, reading those. If I can't do that, it has to be, because those are all different stories and they aren't really connected. I have to have them some sort of connected. I might go with like the Tech War saga.
Yeah.
And if I still can't do that, then I'm just going to fall back on Shogun, which was one of the first books that I read that well before the Chamberlain series. I saw the Chamberlain series well before obviously the newest FX. I've always loved that book. One of the few books that I've read multiple times. So yeah.
How much of the Tech Wars do you think William Shatner actually wrote?
I don't know. I don't care.
It would be interesting to know, wouldn't it?
I love those stories. I've got most of them. I've got most of them, say, in book form. The American editions, because there's one of them. I'm not sure, but I've never ever seen them with a publishing. They published them over here under an English publisher, a British publisher. I think there was all American ones that I had. But no, they're great fun. They're great fun books, and the comics as well. They were great fun.
I think for myself, I
Grease too. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, if we're doing like an actual book, but I was thinking set myself the challenge of trying
the graphic adaptation of Neighbors.
There isn't one. I've looked.
I'll stop interrupting you now, sir.
But I like it. How you doing, Rich? No, I would set myself the challenge of finally penetrating X-Men. And
careful how that's clipped.
Yeah, that's
penetrating X-Men.
Because I've always loved the cartoons and stuff, and only read like just issues. I've only like just every now and then picked up an issue and actually read them because they're so wordy and dense. But I'm on a desert island, so I'm going to want like something complex and meaty. So like
I'm going to change mine. Actually, I'm going to change mine. I'm going to do Detective Comics.
All of it.
What, just all of Detective Comics?
All 1,087 issues.
Read last page. Oh,
I feel like the rules are out of the window at this point.
I'm terrible. I'm terrible at things like this.
The DC universe.
Question. Yes. Which mutant are you penetrating first?
Well, no, he didn't say mutants. He said X-Man.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did say, yeah.
So you got to be careful. When you're, that's what I'm saying. You have to be careful how it's clipped. When you go to penetrate an X-Man.
X-Man. Hi, Christina.
Tremendous. So I was thinking probably around the Phoenix Saga sort of the 90s stuff that I really should have read but didn't read all the way through. That's what I'm thinking on my desert island.
You all survived the desert island. I perish.
I mean, there's quite a lot of me, so I'll last for a while. But sooner or later, I'm going.
You can fly. You'll be able to escape after you read all of those.
I don't fly very well.
He's a flightless bird.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, He's a Mao,
Oh,
and
true.
unfortunately, he got human bones.
Mm.
So the human bones are heavy and don't allow him to fly.
What?
Hence,
Let's throw it out
once
to the
again, you
chat
could
as
say
well.
it's just you're big boned.
Oh yeah, the classic excuse. I'm big boned.
I did like AR bringing up Robinson Crusoe. It's kind of on the nose.
That is
but
a funny.
It is. Yeah,
that,
that's a
let
good gag.
me read Blue Lagoon and
There's a handful of good book series.
Yeah, there's loads of stuff. But you already get one. Okay. Any other questions from the chats? We've got a little bit of time, or anything pressing on your minds that you want to. No, fair enough. Other than which X-Men am I going to penetrate? Like a different question to that.
Yeah, but stay tuned for the after hours show.
For once, having a
Stole.
larger vocabulary comes back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah. Oh well, I'll live. Let's go. Okie
I
dokie.
just love that image.
Oh, Tony's here. Tremendous.
Tony, we can rewind.
Yes, let's do all this again.
I literally just got back from my aunt and uncle's 50th wedding anniversary.
Congratulations to them. That's an amazing achievement. That's
Hope you're
a
doing
lot
well,
of
Tony.
being married.
Oh yeah.
Are they? Do they still speak? Are they,
Oh, yeah.
are they on
Oh,
good
yeah.
terms?
To each other.
Yeah, they
To each
do.
other. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
So, Tony,
Yeah,
watch you with your eyeballs this week.
a lot of Hercules and Xena, a lot of music videos on YouTube. Oddly enough, I've got addicted thanks to somebody at work for this thing called Natural State Transparency. It's a YouTube channel where you get to follow the dash cams of the Arkansas State Police on their high-speed chases.
Oh, that's cool.
So
That's dope.
for some reason I got hooked on that.
Imagine
Fell down the
Imagine
police
you're watching
rabbit
it and you get pulled over and you're watching an episode on that. Hey,
That's
I
me.
see myself.
I-
I'm famous.
The way some of those episodes end, I don't want to be on that.
Just double checking. You don't have a car at the moment, do you, Vaughn? Because
I do,
if that's
actually,
how
I
you
got-
drive, it's probably that for the best.
No. I actually got my car back. I have a new car because my other one got totaled. I have a new car now.
Oh, tremendous! So you'll be making more trips to the LCS then?
Yes, sir.
It wasn't total while you were watching YouTube while driving, was it?
No, sir. Someone hit my car in a parking lot.
I will tell you this fun fact: I wore the henchman shirt to my family gathering, and they were wanting to know about comets curing cancer and everything, so I got to tell them about it.
Oh, tremendous! That's wonderful. So that leads us to what read you this week.
One thing.
I can't even read. What is
Yeah,
it?
hang on, I'll embiggen you.
I love that word, Fun Hoot, and biggin.
I read the hardcover.
Oh, tremendous!
How was
Is
it?
it good?
Oh yeah, I gave it a 10 out of 10. I loved it. Awesome.
I imagine that's
Oh.
on the app now, so I should check it out.
I went back and reread these too because yesterday's Friday 13th.
Cool.
Not this particular set. I got a set that's open.
Tony, I got a new figure I'm going to have to send you a picture of.
Nice.
Tony, I like the hair growing long. It looked good, man.
Thank you. Actually, believe it or not, I have a method to my madness. I'm going to grow it all the way out to a certain length, and then when I decide to get it cut, we got some places around here where you can donate the hair to Locks for Love. Where they
I love that.
They make wigs for like people who are suffering from cancer.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant. So, Tony, I don't know whether you saw any of it, but we've had a discussion about which story book you would take to your desert island.
Story
because you're
book.
stuck there.
I said, Tony,
Story or book. We're very lenient, apparently, with this.
I have a quick question though on the previous thing. Tony, do you realize you have to have enough to be able to have 13 inches cut off?
No, I didn't know what the length was.
it's 13 inches of hair has to be a length get cut off. My youngest has done it several times, but it's minimum is 13 inches.
Well, when I was a teenager, I had my hair was 13 inches.
I'm just saying, be prepared to grow quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, give it some time before you wander in.
You're gonna be a super mullet.
Hey,
You've got to do the mullet.
Super mullet.
And then don't cut it off. Just have a mullet. It would be amazing.
Who next time you see Tony, he has the E-Man hair.
The E-Man hair. But to answer your question, Hoot, I don't know. To answer your question, I'm going to go with a story arc because I don't know if it's ever been collected, but I'm going to go with the story that maybe started collected in '87, and that was when Cap resigned and they got John Walker to be Captain America. It ran from like 332 to 350.
I would think that's bound to be in an omnibus somewhere. Like
I'm sure it is.
That's a major arc, isn't it? Like,
yeah. And when I was collecting it, I didn't know. I just started, and I didn't know how big it was going to be. But it really wasn't that big, but I enjoyed it.
It's better than my choice.
I mean, you got to see Taskmaster train him how to use Cap's shield. I mean,
yeah, that is cool.
Sounds like a good read.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking really, because what I should have said was The Walking Dead, the 193 issues in an omnibus.
That's true. They're meaty books, aren't they? When they've done the omnibuses, they're huge.
What's the other one? Invincible.
Yeah. A compendium for Invincible
is huge. Durs is trying to
sell
that.
One and two, but I haven't read two yet, so I haven't seen the point in getting three until I've finished two. I've read one, but I've yet to start two. But it was it's very, very good read.
Awesome.
Yeah. They're both very good ideas because I'd love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool, Christina.
Nice.
Nice one.
Yeah.
I would consider donating my hair, but there's not enough of it by a long way. Like it's just never gonna happen.
I reckon it take me about 6 years to grow 13 inches down the back of my It stopped growing when I was 27. It's never really grown since.
As you get older, your hair just falls down. Comes below your ears.
You know what's crazy?
From the nose and the ears.
You guys want to hear something crazy? My dad's 63. He has thinning gray hair while his dad is turning 90 in a few weeks, and he has a full head of white hair. Crazy.
Right. Any other business? Well, I think it's always important to recognize that now is the time to get books over to Rob for C3.
Yes.
You've got to step on it because there's not much more time for him to process everything.
What is it like? How many days? Like 8?
It's 9 days is to our target where we'd like to have everything. It also gives me a buffer for because that September 23rd was our deadline to get stuff in so we could process things and get them shared. But it also gave me a buffer for people that straggled a little bit, or if you haven't heard over here, the U.S. Postal Service has been working on a 3-year plan to restructure over the last 5 to 6 years. And in the process, all they've managed to do is slow everything down while raising the prices significantly higher.
Terrible.
So you'd like to think that it's a typical government organization, except that it's actually technically a private organization that has government oversight, which is atrocious, which makes it even worse.
I agree.
Anyway, so counting on the fact that what used to be a 2 to 3 day trip across this country by mail is now 5 to 7 days, I was giving myself some extra buffer for that. Unless you go through Atlanta, then it could be a fortnight.
Yeah, for real. I heard Atlanta's the worst.
Yeah. But anywho, so yes, please, by all means, reach on out. Comics Curing Cancer on Instagram or Facebook. Reach on out to us, and we'll get you the address to ship stuff to. We're really hoping to make a big dent and come close to the goal, at least at this point. it's going to be a stretch.
Are you becoming more confident, or is it still?
So I still don't think that we're going to hit the goal. To be honest, based on there's a lot. I know last year how many slabs and type stuff, and also last year prices were still a little bit higher, right? So the prices are down on stuff. People are a little more conservative with their cash flow right now. The number of donations that we have is down. So although we had a nicer head start because we're sitting at $16,000 so far, to get another 35,000 to break 50, I think is probably a stretch. Now, I think there's a good chance that we might be able to hit in the 40s, which is still would be darn respectable. And knowing that last year we just went we so moved the needle so far, you can't keep expecting that you're going to double every year.
Yeah.
So that's either way. I'll be happy. I think we're definitely get close. But we can't promise people tattoos anymore because unfortunately Tyler has ruined it for everybody. They're not.
I am working on it. I want that to be out
again. Yours is dependent though on the one before you, and he's kind of.
I think someone needs to get a tattoo, and if Tyler's really gonna put it as far back as whenever Lee turns up, it's got to be me, isn't it?
Because that was never part of his promise of when Lee shows up in America. I mean,
how much are t-shirts again, Rob?
Well, you were supposed to be having a tattoo showing how he had a tattoo. So you
it is, but it's an artist rendition from the Magic Badger of that particular scene. It's not
very, very much kind of in the Whack Comics logo style.
Yeah, it does. It's not. It doesn't. It is Tyler, but I mean, it's also Badger doing it, so it's not like a photo version.
Photorealistic.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Nobody needs that on there.
And you bring it up, Vogs. Yeah, there are, of course, on fatstacksmerch.com. It's stacks with an X, fatstacksmerch.com. The 2024 Comics Curing Cancer merch is available. I think that in the US the shirts start at the shirt is $27. And then it's a little bit different in euros, but it's roughly equivalent.
How much is shipping again? Like $5?
I don't know. I don't manage that. It's all print to order through a company called Spring. So they charge a lot for the goods, and we get a little bit of a markup on there, and that markup is what goes to Comics Curing Cancer. And then the shipping and taxes, those are things that happen based on government rules and them wanting to cover their costs. But yeah, so everything on the site, whether it's only Slabs merch, whether it's the generic Comics Curing Cancer merch or the 2024, everything on that site, all the profit from any sale goes to Comics Curing Cancer. So, but the limited edition Austin LeMay shirts, those are available right now. Will probably be available throughout the rest of this year, and then they will disappear at the end of the calendar year. And they come in big boy sizes as well.
I have a t-shirt coming, and I have a mug because I love a mug.
You love mugs, yes.
You like mugging.
yes, I love.
I'm sorry, I had to say.
I agree. Mugs are great.
Yes,
they're tremendous, and that artwork is so special. I can't wait to see how much that goes for. It's going to be very exciting.
I do, because I do have the original here at the house. I will say that I should preface actually. So the 2024 Comics Curing Cancer gear will remain up to the end of this year, or until Spring decides it's too much like copyrighted material and a character or whatever, and forces me to take it down because of Disney.
Right. Yes. I mean, that could happen, I suppose.
It has happened in the past with our old C3 logo. We weren't allowed to have it because it had images of actual comic books on it, but those were actually actual copyrighted printed material and art. Whereas this is an artist rendition of a copyrighted character, so it's a little bit different, and we own the rights to the piece of work. So I'm prepared to fight the battle, but invariably, some of these companies are so afraid of Disney that they won't care.
Yeah. Oh, good job, Rob.
So get it now while you can.
Yes.
Also, whilst I think about it, the comics, are they sold out now, or are they?
So I know for certain that we still have the Sonic the Hedgehog comic.
Okay.
Last time I looked on the site, there was still listed the community art book. There was still a couple available, but I mean, we're talking like single digits if they exist. So basically, yeah.
Get them whilst you can is the gist of it.
Yep.
Okay.
Now there will be 10 available during Comics Curing Cancer that are metal covers. Virgin variant metal cover. They're absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, there'll be only 10 of those available.
Yeah, that's that would be nice. I'm gonna have to have a think about those. Okie dokie. Right, Tony, what you got coming up this week?
Well, not really a lot. I'm gonna try to film a very important video. When you see it, you'll know what it's about. And then I was going to do a live show tomorrow afternoon, but I think I'm just going to take this week off. And next Saturday at 6 p.m., into the Comiverse, we'll return back to Saturday nights. I'm going to say 6 p.m., but it's basically going to be right after the Parliament of Mowls, about 30 minutes after.
Nice.
Tremendous. Yep. I will be there. It's going to be a magical celebration, an event that you cannot believe is happening.
I don't work next Saturday, so I should be available too.
Tremendous.
We got to come up with some kind of cool name like the Terror Twins or the Dynamic Duo.
Oh, I don't work Friday.
That'd be copyrighted. Don't use that one.
Okay. I'm gonna let him figure it out.
Oh, okay. Let's have a look at
that.
that.
Is beautiful.
On there.
Oh man,
Perfect.
Yeah,
It looks nicer in real life because of all the glare from it.
that's. I'm gonna have to try and get one of those.
Yeah.
They're tremendous.
Yeah, it's metal, so it's got shiny. It's in a poly bag, and then it's inside of a comic capsule. So there's a little bit. So I'm trying to get it there, but it's
Yeah, I bet it
beautiful.
looks gorgeous in person. That's
Yeah.
So you're going to do those intermittently through the day, Rob?
I'm not sure how they're being done. DJ Links has got them all. This is an artist proof.
okay. So they'll probably be in the mix then, I would assume. That's
That would probably be the first of chance, at least.
okay. Interesting. I'm gonna have to watch everything that weekend. I'm not gonna sleep. I'll be up all night.
Yeah, you can. That's
on,
that's a great idea. And for anybody who's curious about that, just go to let's see here. Comment. Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, you've got the schedule out.
Oh,
Brilliant.
I can't post it. All right. Well, it's Linktree, linktr.ee/Comics Curing Cancer.
K-Popper's here. Hello.
Or if you want, you just go to the Instagram feed. It's the link, the one link we have on the Instagram feed. We'll take you to Linktree.
I'll post it now.
Yeah, the Linktree will take you not only to the entire show schedule with individual links to everybody's shows, so you can go ahead and start hitting those notification bells now to help remind you. But it also has the links to the big cartel shop, to the Fat Stacks merch shop, to where you're going to go to make your donations during the event. All those things are all in the Linktree. So it's fabulous. Everything that you need right there at your fingertips.
Yep.
Tremendous. Okie dokie. Rob, what have you got coming up?
Aside from Comics Curing Cancer, Monday I do have my mail call. I'll be unboxing a big upgrade for one of my sub 100 ASM books, which means another sub 100 ASM book will be going over to the Comics Curing Cancer pile. And then, Tuesday will be the feature of what's come in this week for Comics Curing Cancer. So we'll get a chance to preview the stuff that comes in for that. I'll be making appearances coming up throughout the rest of the month on my, aside from my usual content, will be showing up from time to time on other channels promoting Comics Curing Cancer.
Hey Rob, I do sporadic live streams. If you ever want to come on, I'll send you the link probably in advance. I would love for you to.
Yeah, so everything. Okay, I'll talk to you later about that, Vox. Because right now everything's got to be scheduled. I don't have a lot of.
Oh, okay, no worries.
On the random, because I got so much stuff going on with trying to do prep for Comics Curing Cancer, run my channel, do my work.
No worries.
And now I have a new hire that I'm trying to train remotely.
Yeah, no worries at all, Rob. No worries at all. No worries
remote work is great when you're the one who's working remote, but when you're trying to train someone remote, it sucks.
It sucks. No worries, Rob. I'll probably start to plan eventually when to have real scheduled live streams. No worries.
Okie dokie. Vogger, what have you got coming up this week?
Man, I've got a lot of videos to post. I've got some shorts. I do sports cards and comics, so in 2 different videos. So I've got that, and then I'm on different live streams. I'll probably be on Simon's tonight. And yeah, making my rounds.
Tremendous. Terry?
Well, as I said, I've got another video coming out, say 4:00 British Standard Time, and tomorrow the 15th. And I've got a couple of others that I've the new Superman one, because I haven't done a Superman one for a while, so that'll be the part 1 of 1962 for Superman and Action Comics. And then I've also got that one I was talking about. I hope to finish the script for the All-Star Western. But nothing is nothing is as interesting as obviously the 3 Cs. But I mean, I do try to mention that when I do, or I do leave it sort of in my comments thing. I do try to mention these sort of channels. But yeah, that's really all that I've got at the moment.
Tremendous. Well, for myself, I will have an unboxing on Monday for sure. And we'll have a Wrestle Crate this Friday, because I did intend to have it up yesterday, but it just didn't happen for one reason or another. And then I will be back next weekend for the Parliament of Mowls, and then into the Comiverse, back to back, a twofer, as you were.
Twice the Mowl you used to be.
Yeah. This is exciting times. You get double the dose.
Twice the Mowl you normally are.
Yeah. Okay. All those in favour of ending Parliament say hoot.
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 Hoot, hoot.
Tremendous. I love the way you were so enthusiastic with that.
I like your half
language.
I love your half use of the Robert's Rules of Order. Because I mean, really, it would be we would say, is there a motion to adjourn? And somebody would say, I move, so move. Right, there's a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? So I second. All right, it's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. Is there any discussion? Seeing that there's no discussion, we'll move the vote. All in favor. Yeah. But I appreciate you're getting there, buddy.
Now, I think I'm just going to skip to the end part where we.
It's half the joke. Yeah. just like you should be going. The chair, or maybe the nest, recognizes the distinguished gentleman from.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah. Distinguishes the distinguished gentleman from.
Tremendous. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate
it. And I don't really know. Well, I suppose no. Really, what happened was. No, the thing is, rather than confront,